Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Why don't you stand and join me in This Is the Day. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made.
And this was my prayer for this morning anyway, that this is the day that the Lord hath made. We shall and we do rejoice, and we're very glad to be in it. Good morning and welcome, and I'm so glad to be here with you this morning. Amen, amen, amen.
Thank you. Good morning again. It's always nice to hear that because we're so excited to be here. This is the time we set aside to light our Christ candle. And the reason we do that is because we want to remember the light that we all have within us. And the best way to show that light is to bring up a young person. Not that we all are young people, but a very young person. And so Mina is her name. She's going to do this. She's done it a number of times, so I just stand here. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now as we look and see Mina, we can see her light. And so we want to make sure that we honor her and let her know that we see her light. Let's say together, you are a beautiful child of God, perfect in every way. You are loved unconditionally, just the way you are. And as we see that in Mina, we look around and we can see it in ourselves. So let's, to ourselves, say, I am a beautiful child of God, perfect in every way. I am loved unconditionally, just the way I am. And I would like for all the other young people to come up, stand here with her, because we see the beauty, and we see the light, and we see the love in all of them. And we can remember, if we think really hard, we were like that at one time. Okay, so before, George is going to play for us, and we're going to sing so that they can be honored.
Yeah, let's sing this together. I'm a beautiful child of God, a wondrous spirit of love and peace. My light will shine forever. I'm a beautiful child of God. You're a beautiful child of God, a wondrous spirit of love and peace. Your light will shine forever. You're a beautiful child of God. We are beautiful children of God. We are wondrous spirits of love and peace. our light will shine forever. We are beautiful children of God. We are beautiful children of God.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So now you can go. Hi. The energy we had. We did at one time, right? Good morning again. Don't we like to hear that? To say good morning and know that you're welcome, and we're glad you're here. My name is Phyllis Flemings, and I am your service assistant this morning. So first of all, I would like to honor the people that are helping us with this service. That is Thomas, who is back there, and also Gloria. Thank you for being here. And we have our prayer chaplains here. Would you stand, please? We have Cheryl Potts, and we have Pat Flores. It is wonderful to have these wonderful people here because I've experienced the prayers, and they are very touching. And I will keep mine on the phone sometimes so I can hear it again. It's wonderful. It lifts you up. If you're having a little day that's not quite the way you want, you listen to that prayer again. But they will be up here after the service, available to support you in any way that they can. Everything is confidential, so feel free to share whatever you would like. And thank you so much for the wonderful service that you provide to our community. We have a special guest here today, Reverend Sonya Milton. She has been here a number of times before, and I always enjoy it when she comes. My heart opens even more. Thank you so much for being here. She's been doing this work, this service, this ministry, since 1991. So she's doing a great thing, for all of us. And we so appreciate you, and we love you. Thank you for being here. The only other thing I would like to say is about our people that are here watching on Skype. No, it's not Skype anymore. They're watching on the internet. They're watching some way, and we are happy that you're here with us today. I don't want to forget George Haber. He's been here a few times as well. He provides music for us, and we're so happy that you're here. Thank you so much. The wonderful community highlights. I know you've all been waiting for that. Unfortunately, I only have 2 announcements. Isn't that terrible? So we want to make sure that one of the announcements that you know about is the spring tea. That is always a sellout. People love to go there. And it's really funny. I don't know if the main reason they go is because they have the wonderful men doing the serving or what, but you have a lot of people that show up. So don't forget, it is going to be on April 27th. The Women of Unity are hosting this. So tickets will be on sale soon, so look forward to that. Looking forward to seeing you there. Our next one would be our annual meeting that we have every year, and we need you to show up. I mentioned to Marcy, I'd like to thank her for everything that she does. I mentioned to her, well, you know, we could have it on the 11th. She said, she talked about something like football. And I don't know what that would have to do with this. I mean, who cares about football, right? So anyway, we're not having it on that Sunday. We're having it on the 18th. It's going to be at 11:30. So hopefully all of you can come because we need to have a quorum in order to vote. Make sure you filled out your card that you're willing to continue on as a member of the church. So we look forward to seeing you. And that is it. Oh, there's Maylene. Maylene now is going to come up, and we're going to do our Earth Care Covenant.
Is this on? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay, I rushed over here. And that's something that you really should not be doing if you care about the earth, is to be driving really fast. So I'd like to do the Earth Care Covenant with you. And you can think of it as an affirmation and a prayer for our earth and our responsibility to the earth. Okay. So I'd like you all to repeat it with me as well as we can. Okay. Number one, as a spiritual community, we are committed to being ecologically responsible stewards of our earthly home. We affirm that we hold a deep respect for all life and a sincere reverence for the interdependent web of all that is. We envision and take action to create a world where all life thrives in harmonious interdependence. With compassion and gratitude, we strive to bring awareness to the vital balance of nature, to ourselves and to others. We join together to mindfully support the well-being and protection of our natural environment, here and across the world. We declare our covenant with God to walk lightly upon this beautiful earth as we hold a vision of the highest good for all living beings on this planet, now and for future generations. Thank you very much. I wanted to share something with you about food waste, because that seems to be somewhat of a problem for everybody. First of all, just some facts about food waste. And I think we're very blessed to have something in California where we have to now compost all food waste, just about. I'm pretty sure it's almost everything. Here's some facts before this. 40% of food produced in California goes uneaten, 40%. 6 million tons of food goes into California landfills, but now we're separating it. 56% of landfills were food waste, food, soiled paper, green waste, and other organic waste. That was 56% before this law got passed. So, and also municipal landfills are the third largest source of greenhouse gases in California. And methane is a climate super polluter that's 84 times more potent than carbon dioxide. So those are just things to bear in mind, especially when you're trying to let go of food waste, that you're doing a really important thing for the planet by doing this. And also, I have about 10 people signed up for the Earth Care group, and it'd be really nice to get 10 more people. And there's a sign-up sheet in the Great Hall where you can just put your name and clearly write out your email address so I can copy it and send you information as I get information. So thank you, and have a great day. Thanks.
Thank you, Milene. Now it is time for our statement of faith. So it's on the board there, so let's say this together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good. Thank you.
I learned this song, first heard it after a friend told me about it, and she thought I would like it, and I really do. There And I looked at the performance of India Ari. You see your name up there, Words and Music. And so if you like this song, you can look it up on your YouTube channel and check out India Ari. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any other thing that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. Oh, I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I'm not the things my family did, or any other things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of a dream I left behind. I am light. I am light, I am light. Oh, I am light, I am light. I'm not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. Oh, I am light. I am light. We are light. Oh, we are light. We are light. Oh. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I, oh, am light. Oh, I am light. I am light. Oh, I am light. Oh, I am light. Oh, I am light. Light, light. Oh. I am light.
Thank you, George. This is my first time sharing the platform with George, and wow, I love acoustic guitar, the way you play it. I love your voice, and I love that song. So thank you. What a beginning, you know? How music and prayer just shifts the energy, shifts the consciousness. It's just, you know, I get nervous, and then I go, wait, everything is going to And it does. And here we are, and this is wonderful. So thank you. I wanted to just say hello to you from Hal, my husband, Reverend Hal Milton. Many of you know him. Because of the game today, he just wanted to be sure he got rested up and ready for it. So he's not with us this morning because certain things are more important than listening to your wife, you know. But then our grandson's here. He's missing that. So to embarrass our grandson, Stuart, who is a senior at Davis and a wonderful human being with a big heart. So, you know, there are stories that stick with us our entire lives. And even if they didn't happen, they're usually true stories. And not having grown up with anything particularly religious and not anything with the Bible, when I finally was involved with Unity and went on to our prerequisites and our ministerial training, I just fell in love with some of the stories. And I wanted to share with you my favorite story because I live in this story every day, and you might too. And it's the story of Jacob. So there were 4 patriarchs, supposedly, in the Old Testament, the Hebrew Bible. There was Abraham, his son Isaac, his son Jacob, and then Joseph of the multicolored dream coat. So a lot of these stories focus around them. And they may or may not have happened. It doesn't really matter. If you think about it, people told stories about the presence and the power of Spirit, of God, whatever we want to call it, the way they did, and through stories, because they had no other way to talk about it. So it doesn't, again, even matter. And I just wanted to say that as a caveat, because fortunately, all of us in Unity come from something else. Most of us. Who was raised in Unity? Okay, so thank you. Thank you for being here and continuing it on. So we come from different backgrounds, religious backgrounds, non-religious, secular, different, So I just wanted to say that because some of you, it's very important that these stories, I'm dropping all my notes here, that these stories remain special to you, and some of you believe they really happened, and maybe they did. Maybe they did. Okay, excuse me here. So, as I said, this is a favorite of mine, and you can read along with me. There's a lot of story with Jacob. This is just one little piece of it. The same night, he got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 maids, and his 11 children and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. Now, this is from the book of Genesis. I'll say more after that, about that. He took them and sent them across the stream, and likewise everything that he had. Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until daybreak. When the man saw that he did not prevail against Jacob, he struck him on the hip socket, and Jacob's hip was put out of joint as he wrestled with him. Then he said, "Let me go, for the day is breaking." But Jacob said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." Then he said, "What is your name?" And he said, "Jacob." Then the man said, "You shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have striven with God and with humans and have prevailed." Then Jacob asked him, "Please tell me your name." But he said, "Why is it that you ask my name?" And there he blessed him. So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, "For I have seen God face to face, and yet my life is preserved." The sun rose upon him as he passed Peniel, limping because of his hip. Any of you familiar with this story? Oh, great, great. I'm sure you've heard it before in this place. So a little backstory. Jacob and his brother Esau were twins. And Esau was born first, and as he was born, Jacob was hanging on to his heel, and he came out second. Esau was kind of a wild man. He liked to be out into the wilderness, and Jacob sort of stayed close to his mom. And Jacob and his mother, Rebekah, colluded to steal the blessing of the firstborn from Esau, father Isaac and to bestow it on Jacob. So Jacob got the blessing. He got what was really not his. So the years haven't been uneventful for Jacob, because at one point he had to leave home because Esau wanted to kill him, and his mother Jacob sent him off to be with her brother Laban. So these are, I hope these details aren't too much because they're not about the story. And when he was there, he married Laban's daughters, Leah and Rachel, and he became very successful and very rich. When Laban's sons began to grumble about all the good and the success and the riches that Jacob had, God tells Jacob to get out of there, go back to the land of his fathers and his relatives, and God promises that he will be with him. So Jacob packs up his wives and children, his servants, his animals, his household goods, and 20 years after leaving, he sets out for home. And this is just a beautiful picture I found of Jacob getting the blessing from his father Isaac. And there's Esau out there, with his bow and arrow being out in the wilderness. You can read this whole story if you want in the chapters 27 through 33 of Genesis, or at least read chapter 27 because it's the account of this deceiving of the aged and blind Isaac. They steal the blessing, and he goes on. And we're told Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing, and he says to himself, "The days of mourning for my father are approaching, and then I will kill my brother Jacob." So a good thing he got out of town when he did. At some point, we all leave home. At some point, we are all homeless. We leave behind the way life was. We move out of the familiar ways and places that once housed our lives. And sometimes it's a welcome move. It's something we want to do, and often it is not. Growing up, growing old, these processes of living, and other times circumstances, a move, an earthquake, a fire, we know that around here, a death, a divorce, a job transfer, going off to school. And while it often is a physical change or a geographical change, it's mostly a spiritual change that happens, right? A spiritual condition. And it happens deep within our soul. We may never even go anywhere, but we know something's shifting and changing. Everyone wants to go home. E.T. wanted to go home. Dorothy and Toto wanted to go home. Even the wizard wanted to go home. And there's maybe it's Thornton Wilder. You can never go back home. But once we leave, it's never like it was before. We can't undo the past. We can't turn back the clock. We can't keep things the way they are. My husband Hal and I are taking a short course in Napa through the Insight Meditation group, and it's called the four, the Buddhists, they got the 4 things and the 3 things and the 6 things. And that's because it was an oral tradition. That's how people remember. But this is the 4 reflections, that's it. And the class this week was on impermanence and death. And a question that the facilitator asked us in the class was, knowing that you will die, how does that knowing that you will die affect your life right now? So that's an interesting thing to sit with. So we go out to the wilderness, to, Jesus 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness, Noah with the 40 days, 40 years, Moses looking for the promised land in a place that's like the size of New Jersey, but he's lost for 40 years. But that means that's how long it takes sometimes. You leave, something happens, and we come back. The journey home is kind of like the most important part of the whole thing. The journey home changes us. And this is a lovely piece of a poem that I love by T.S. Eliot called Little Gidding. We shall not cease from exploration. And at the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. We shall not cease from exploration. And at the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. So there's this promise, this fulfillment of promise that's mentioned in the Bible over and over again, but it's something we know within. Whether we think of God as this great presence out here or something in here. In Unity, we talk about the immanent God and then the universal God. So there's that power and presence, that harmony that Charles Fillmore talked about, that we're all part of something, not that something that we want's going to happen, but there's this pattern almost. And it changes all the time. And our job always is to be with that immanent God, that presence and power within. Perhaps we can call it our soul or our own divinity, the Christ within. That within us that we sometimes have to work really hard to uncover, but then to know that we know that we know. So right now I'm getting a little ahead of myself because I'm long recovered from COVID over the holidays, but I still have a little something, so I need to slow down and be in my breath. That's what I need to do right now, and maybe with you too. I'm just so excited to get to speak with you. I told Hal this morning, I'm going somewhere where people actually want to listen to me. And I get money. and that great cake that's going to be out there afterwards with the poppy seeds. The bud cake. Just save me a piece, okay? If you get out there before I do. So every journey always brings us to the river Jabbok. And that's where Jacob is right now in our story. He's just there. He sent everything away. And the other thing is, he knows that his brother knows he's coming. And so he sends messengers out to his brother with gifts, but it's no good because Esau's coming at him with 400 men. So he's everything's gone and he's alone in this dark place, this dark, lonely place. Always this schemer, he's waiting to see if he can, manipulate the situation. Because behind him is the life he left behind, the deception and the lying, the stolen blessing. In front of him now is Esau, who wants his retribution, and he is alone at that place. It's nighttime, it's dark, it's a place of struggling and wrestling. Is it a place that you know? Is there a time in your life, maybe now, maybe years ago, maybe in your future, where you're just at that place where there's nothing to do but be right here? There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go but to be right here. And right here, he wrestles with a man. Now, some people say it was an angel. In this translation, which is the New Revised Standard Version, it was a man. And maybe this man was an angel, but it was a man. And I just love this picture. It's so earthy and physical and muscular. All night long, they wrestle. Was it his father? Was it another man? Was it himself? Was it his past, his future, his identity, his faith? Regardless, he was face to face with his own soul, face to face with God. And the amazing thing is he is wounded and he is blessed. Doesn't it seem the two go together sometimes? You get the wound and then you get the blessing. He holds on to this man long enough to get a real blessing, not a stolen blessing, not one that he took, but one through with the promises of Spirit of God, of soul, will be fulfilled, and Jacob will be changed forever. It's funny, when we were coming in today, I was sitting there and I heard somebody say, I think it was a male voice, something about changing a name. So I don't know, we get married, we change our names, we get adopted, we change our names. Some of us have a spiritual experience and decide to change our names. And there's something to that name change. Day breaks and Jacob is no longer Jacob. He's been renamed, he's been reborn, and he is now Israel, the one who struggles and prevails against God, the one who struggles and prevails. When have you struggled and prevailed? Jacob doesn't defeat God, he prevails. He stays in the struggle until there's a new day. And he receives this blessing that was always his. And that's his faithfulness, his work at the Jabbok, our work, all night long. Have you had those nights? Those when you're just not sleeping and something's wrestling with you. So the day before yesterday, I was working with this material, and I'm usually not particularly with notes, but this was just so important to me. I woke up at 5 in the morning, took the computer down to the kitchen, and was just, on it, because I wanted to put down some things that I felt were really important to me. And it was a great day. And then I didn't sleep too well the night, and yesterday was a crappy day. I just had everything go wrong here and there. My printer didn't work, and then I took it over to a friend's house, and then we realized it was my computer. This was like at 8 o'clock last night because I wanted my notes. I thought, well, I'll just send them to Marcy, and she can print them out here, which I'm glad we didn't do because the problem was in my computer. It was just one of those, please, I want to make dinner and take a shower and have a quiet evening because I'm going to be here in the morning. And instead, I'm made myself crazy. That was my wrestling. I mean, we have big time wrestling, and then we have little bit wrestling, right? Impermanence. Nothing stays the same. Things are not the way we want them to be. I mean, thank you for that earth care remembrance. Now, I live in Napa County. We've been composting for years. That's kind of our law. We got the separate can for that, and we got the recycling, we got the garbage. And it's a trip every Sunday to get that together, let me tell you. So it's this tossing and turning throughout the night, trying to figure out what to do next, as if we can figure out what to do next, because we can't. It happens. It happens. God happens. Spirit happens. And we listen, and maybe we don't listen, and then we do listen, and something shifts within us. And that's been happening our entire lives. And it keeps happening. And the better we are to go, okay, we're better off than just resisting it, right? Wrestling all night long. It's that slow work of rebuilding trust and putting it back together, maybe a marriage or a friendship. It's sitting day after day at the bedside of a loved one who's dying. It's faithfulness and routine ordinariness of life and work and committed relationships and marriage. It's a week, a year, a lifetime of doing what is right and never getting to see the result. Jabbok is experienced in 1,000 different ways. It's in the nighttime of our homes, the way home. It's a place where we are wounded and renamed and blessed and made a new person. And that is why Jacob renames Peniel. And now it's the place where we seek God and our life is preserved. Wow. And as I've told you before over the years, there's something so special about being in this process together and acknowledging it together. No matter what our background is or our faith is or whatever we believe, when we come together and have this shared experience of knowing that there's something greater and grander, it's not about giving up. It's about tuning in and being present with our experiences. I mean, we each have our own story and stories. We're all standing on the bank of the Jabbok River. And thank you, Marcy, for that map on the front thing. You've got the map where the Jabbok is. We can pretty much identify the wounds and how we limp through life. Remember, the hip was out of joint. He spent the rest of his life with a cane and a limp. Where is that limp? Where is that scar? It's hard sometimes to see and accept and trust the presence of the blessing. It's too dark to see, but whatever it is, we hold on all the way inward and preserving our own lives. And so, of course, the questions come up. How is this story, how might this story be your story? What kind of wrestling have you endured when it's dark and mysterious? What is that wound that you've endured? And how has that wound be a call to your own truth? And the blessing that this experience offered you, what is that? And what might be your new name? We do that with our white stone ceremony and different things where we give ourselves a name or a word for the year. What might that be for you today, right now? And a new day is dawning. There's a blessing for all of us right now. It doesn't mean that our lives are magically fixed, that we go back to the old homestead and it's just the way we left it. The quilt is on our bed and, the same things are in the larder. It's not like that. It's different. Sometimes it seems like it's better. Sometimes it's just gone. But it means that we can go forward because we are blessed. We are renamed. We're made a new person, free to cross over and to go home. The home that E.T., well, we don't know what happened to E.T., but he just wanted to get home. But the E.T. that Dorothy went back to, that was a different kind of experience she had. She came back with such gratitude and love and appreciation for what she had. That experience that she had, that was, a really bad dream and a beautiful dream. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Namaste.
In the silence, there is peace. In the silence, there is unspoken joy. In the silence, there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. Still I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that can never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence, there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. Still I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that can never be said. And right here in this holy silence, I find God. I find God. I find myself.
In the silence. In the silence. And so we have the privilege this morning, right now, of settling into the seat beneath you, knowing you're supported completely, of relaxing your shoulders, your jaw, your arms and your hands. Allowing your breath to just come and go, no holding it or trying, just letting it be. Softening your belly. Unlocking any parts that are holding tight, your legs and your buttocks. Your ankles and your feet and your toes. Fingers. Oh. So our practice is this being with self. And noticing distraction. So if your mind wants to go to yesterday or old wounding or anything, or tomorrow or later what you're going to eat, like me and that cake, just let that go and say, thank you. Not now. Right now I'm here simply with my breath. I'm not changing it. I'm just noticing the inhale and the exhale. That which unerringly keeps us alive and well. Even relaxing your scalp. Just notice where that might be holding and letting it go. Being right here and right now. In this experience, in this room with these beautiful souls, all of us, divine and perfect as we are. Maybe take a deep breath right now. Let it go. And a couple more of those in your own time, in your own way, to just completely fill up that cavern in your belly and your lungs. Life-giving oxygen, air, prana. And then it turns around and just gets expired. You exhale. And then automatically it just happens again. What a miracle the breath is. Breathing through your nose mostly, if that works for you. In and out. In the silence. In the silence of your own soul. and your own self. And now slowly and gently, your conscious awareness is right here and right now, knowing that you can do this practice anytime, anywhere, to return to self, return to home, renewed, inspired, knowing that truly, truly all is well in God mind. And it is so. And it is so.
Now it is time for us to give. And it's always a joy in being able to do that. Ushers can come forward now. What we want to do is either have money in hand, you can text to give, you can see on the board there the number that you can call for text to give. You can also go to our website, and there's a button there that says donate, and you can make your donation. And you've all heard about it being more a blessing to give than to receive, because we receive so much anyway. So we want to make sure that we're sharing those blessings. So the ushers are going to come around now. Let's say our blessing. God's love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive. I am grateful.
Join me here as we sing, I Send My Love. Joy, power, and peace. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my power over the mountains. I send my power over the sea. I send my power into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. And it returns to me.
Thank you so much for the talk, Reverend Sonya. We appreciate that. It just touched my heart. It really did. Thank you. Okay, now we will say our affirmation of divine substance. Together, that inexhaustible is equal to every demand. There is no reality in lack. Abundance is here and now manifests. We had a wonderful day today, and I am so grateful for the opportunity to be doing this. It is such a joy. And now we're going to do this wonderful thing that we do. I remember when I came to Unity, this affected me a great deal. I went home singing it. So we all will stand, and we will decide how we're going to do this. We may be able to make a circle. We'll do the best that we can, and we will sing our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, and peace that was meant to be with God our Creator. We are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my sole of vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
We are And as we go out into this day, into the week, in our lives, we say, and I don't have it up there, so I'm going to say it once and then you'll say it with me. I am home, trusting in the presence of Spirit active in my life now. I am home, trusting in the presence of Spirit active in my life now. So we're going into this time of fellowship and greeting each other into the fellowship lounge or whatever you call it here. What do you call it? Fellowship lounge? Fellowship hall? Just a place where we hang out. So please greet each other. Greet at least 3 people that you don't know well. And just share the good. Eat, drink, and be merry, and all is well. And yay, go 49ers! Yeah.